welcome to the channel. Today we're going to be fishing for trees. I'm going to start clearing like big sections, and for that, so my dad picked up this 1/2-inch elevator cable. It's rated at like 26,000 pounds, and then we got a whole slew of tree savers, pulleys, shackles, greasies for some reason. Don't know why that's in here. Now the tractor should be strong enough with the doubleization of the pulleys. They call it a snatch block, and what it does is it doubles your pulling force. So say the tractor can pull, say, 1,500 pounds. Well, when you use a pulley system, every pulley doubles your load. So if you do it in an S pattern, you are double.
How this works? So that'd
be pulling 6,000 pounds or so. But my goal is to pull the whole root ball and all. As you see all these little things in here, I don't want all those little stumps to contend with and deal with when I do want to flatten this out and regrade it and actually turn this into like a usable living space. Eventually building a house back here. I don't want to deal with all those stumps. This is my anchor tree, okay? So your anchor tree, you want to be really stout, really strong, and you want to go as low as possible on that. Is the reason why we call this the anchor tree is because your main cable is going to anchor directly to that tree. So right here, this goes around a tree saver, and that is one anchor point right to that tree. Now, to kind of follow this along here, this cable comes down and does a loop around this pulley right here. Okay, so it does one loop and then comes back down to another pulley that's mounted to the tree, and this has again its own tree saver around it. That cable continues to go around to another pulley, which is right here, and then that goes around again back to a what's going on down there? Change direction pulley, and I actually shoot it down that way with the tractor down the trail. So what this essentially does, I can pull any tree over here this way towards this anchor tree while I'm driving that way. Now, the thing about these pulleys is it does double your pulling power. So I'm actually quadrupling my pulling power off of this setup. So if that tractor can pull, say, 1,500 to 2,000 pounds, I'm actually getting about 8,000 pounds of pull. And when you actually like hook a chain up pretty high in the tree to get you some leverage, I'm actually pulling these trees completely over and dragging the root ball out of the ground and getting back down to flat surface. This tree over here that I pulled out yesterday, it actually split the backside, but ripped the rest of the root ball out of the ground. So I'll come in with the backhoe and just clean that little bit up. But I pulled out like 4 or 5 trees along here, and I started to open up this area that we looked at yesterday. Also, I have a chain to both those pulleys just coming out, and it's just a loop right here. So I pretty much can take a chain around any tree that I want and just stretch it back and just hook it anywhere along here. And when I drive back, it'll pull kind of evenly. So the thing about pulleys though is you double your pulling power, but you half your travel distance. So for every 4 feet I go that way, this only moves 1 foot. So you're gonna need a pretty long cable. I have a 100-footer and a 75-footer available. I'm actually only using the 75. It's actually really nice because that tree right there and that tree right there, it's kind of my stopping point. I know I can run the tractor back to there and I won't make the pulleys collide, which is something you should pay attention to because that's a whole other problem in and of itself. So, fishing in the woods for trees. I've got my chain here, so let's set the hook. So, whenever I'm hooking up to get a good bite, I take the chain and I go under, and then I actually bring it up over, and what that will do is that'll cinch down and bite really tight on the tree and prevent it from sliding up the tree. And then once I've got it kind of zigzagged, I set the hook, making sure to leave the weight where to keep the chain bound on the tree. Ease of maneuverability of getting the trees out when it's time to get it out, I now have a box blade. So I'm going to rework all of this dirt and just make this a more level path to get across with trees and stuff that I plan on dragging out. So step one is to undo the mess that I created, which is all those logs right there. So I'm gonna pull those out, and then while I got the box blade here, I'm slowly just gonna like push the dirt into the hole until I've got a more level path. I do have a massive hump here, so coming into the woods I have a straight shot out of the woods. Actually, let me just show you. So over here I have a straight shot coming into the woods, and it comes in and it kind of like starts high and then comes down and then actually gradually comes up all the way until it hits this area, and then it just drops off severely. So, and then actually goes up severely on the other side. So my goal is to take this entire hump, starting from about right there, all this, and just slowly push this dirt back and fill in this hole over here with all that dirt, so we get more of a gradual, like straight line coming in from the woods. Just to kind of like even it out and make it to where a piece of equipment can get in and get through here. So that is my goal. As with my previous goal, hopefully this one doesn't have the same demise that that one did. So time to undo what I've already created. Alright guys, well, for the first time in almost 2 years, you can put a piece of equipment right there. For 2 years I've been in the woods, I've been fighting this. I've had 4 different machines stuck here. I've needed to winch or chain or pull them out with other pieces of equipment. And this is actually kind of like a main thoroughfare that I really wanted for the woods. I tried logs, as you saw. That didn't work. So when all else fails, go to dirt. Dirt's simple, dirt works, compact it well, and now I can drive back and forth, which means that entire side of the woods is now accessible by me, which wasn't ever able before. So super excited, super happy. So yeah, so now it's next step is just to kind of come up with a game plan on thinning all of the... I got the box blade. I filled the creek to finally pass and not have any vehicles get stuck again. Get access to the other side of the woods to where I'd be able to finally go pick wood that I want to pick. And less than a week later, there is a tree that decided to, you know, fall right across the bridge that I had built. So, it only took a week for my new passageway across the creek to get blocked. I've also noticed quite a few other issues. As I knew about them before, but now that I'm actually in here working all the time trying to clean this stuff out, I'm starting to realize them even more. I mean, look at this. This tree, I believe, was sitting like right there when it came over. And there's just no roots to it at all. It's completely rotted and dead. And this is a pretty tall tree. And I was working right here. I mean, this is the bridge. Like, that's the one side of it. And right here's about, actually, let me just step back here. Like, all the dirt that I put in was from here, let's say from about right there on the other side of that tree to right there was all that I filled in so I could finally drive across. And I was working here all day for a couple days, and this thing could have fell on me at any given time, because less than a week later, here we are, and I have that now crossed. Again, make a plan, throw out the plan, and give up a new plan. Also, I got a nice little whack on my forehead. Me and my dad were cleaning up the mess that we made last December, and one of the trees was still pretty green. Had a branch about yay big around on it. Still green and under a lot of spring under another trunk. My dad lifted it up with the forks, and that thing came whipping back and just smacked me right there, and it hurt. It's dangerous stuff. So, well, guys, thanks for watching. If you could, please, like, subscribe, all of that fun stuff. I'm going to try and put out lots of videos on this woods project, as well as try and get some more videos on what I do on the farm. So if this is the kind of content that you like to watch, again, please like, subscribe, hit that bell so you know when the next stuff comes out. I am going to try and get pretty frequent on these posts. Probably start out at 1 a week and then going up from there, depending on how much time I have to work on stuff. So, well, guys, thanks again, and thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.